It's so good to be together here. We are sitting here in the foyer of Faith Wesleyan Church, and it is my privilege to be here with Linell Stabler, who leads, oversees, and started ACES mission. And these are our moments for us as a church family at Faith Wesleyan to really see how God is working in the organizations, the ministries, the missions that we support. And so the conversation that we have today is to hear a little bit more about Linell and ACES and how we as a church can support. So Linell, thank you so much for making time to have a conversation.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
How about we start just broad, just in case anyone hasn't heard of ACES. Could you inform us what ACES is, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what's currently happening.
Okay, to start with, probably the acronym ACES is for Advancing Communities by Educating and Serving. So ever since our beginning in 2005, our focus has been on education mostly. We have had also some small health clinics, like neighborhood health clinics in Santo Domingo especially. But mostly the education is what we target. And at one time we had a functioning school for K through 12 in Santo Domingo. And we've evolved over the years now to where we're more streamlined, mostly targeting community centers or community efforts, which is, what we're built on anyway. So we like to think that undergirding a community in whatever way, but especially in education, is the strength of each neighborhood. Because right now, well, forever, in Santo Domingo and other outlying small towns, life is lived on the street. Because in poor neighborhoods, houses are so small, there's room for a bed maybe, or a couple beds, or floor mats, or whatever. And most buildings have a dining room, or a dining table and some chairs, but the chairs are always piled on top of the table, and you can barely squeeze by it. You never eat at a table. You never have a meal at a table. Everything is done out on the sidewalk, or on the front steps, or whatever. So because everybody sees each other, it's a community, it truly is a community life. We thought that making a community center where people could meet and actually have organized functions, whatever, was a good way to go. So that's kind of the evolution now, where we're doing community centers, where we're renovating, we built one, we're, all kinds of things, and then the community just takes over. They have a leadership team, and so they devise a tutoring center, they devise a women's group, they devise, everything then becomes the neighborhood, which is exactly what we wanted it to do.
That's so fascinating, and to really capitalize on ways not just to simply come alongside for a time, but really equip people where they're at to grow and then take on ownership of that community growth. And as I hear you speaking that, it makes me think of Jesus' prayer in action, that the kingdom of heaven would come and happen here on earth as it is in our Father's presence, so that there's this renewing, this restoring of broken relationship, broken communities to be made whole again. That's what I hear as you're saying that.
That's exactly what has happened in two of the communities. One of them has been vital to begin with. It's been healthy. They just needed a place. But in another one, up in the hills, it was kind of like Appalachia. It was very set apart. And there might be a house over here on this hill and a house there wasn't really a village. And they were always fighting. There was always conflict, even among families. And a young woman from a neighboring town had a vision that didn't have to be that way. And so she made a lean-to out of banana leaves to make a little tutoring center for the kids. And she had maybe half a dozen kids to start with. And eventually, over time, she was able to get grants and get some donations. They built a small, like a concrete pad, and put a tin roof over it. And it's just been growing and growing and growing. We got involved about 7 years ago. And we built another little section to it, and then built a community kitchen just up the hill from it. And now people are gathering together, and there's witness and testimony by the neighborhood people that this would not have happened. They would not have been able to come together in solidarity. And they say that a lot, solidarity. That's their word. They like that. They like being able to be together and unified. So, I mean, that's kind of our poster child of the kind of community center activity that we want to have.
Yeah, restoring and having like a oneness and a unity.
Yeah.
What are some of the current needs or endeavors that are happening with ACES?
Like every nonprofit organization, money.
Sure.
Like everyone, but a lot of prayer. Every project that we've taken on has been undergirded by the community's prayer groups, whether it's the Catholic Church down the street or, it's been ecumenical in effect. It's just come together, people coming together. And they always ask for our prayers. They always ask, as much as getting money or getting the donations or, whatever we can take to them, they ask for our prayers. So, I mean, that's number one.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome having a series on prayer just recently.
Well, as I hear you saying that, I think of yesterday. I mean, so we're filming this the day after our prayer series has concluded, and Pastor Caleb shared the message saying, prayer is powerful. Like, what more could be done than let's start by going to the throne?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They've been awesome.
How about this? Because we've got the unique opportunity as our faith family to connect with ACES as your connection with Faith Wesleyan. What is a way that someone, if they were feeling stirred in their heart to connect with, pray for, find out more, how would they connect best with ACES?
Contacting me.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we have a board of directors, several people. I don't believe we have any others from this church anymore. But contacting me, I would love to talk to people.
Okay.
It's wonderful. We used to ship things. We used to do it by the big shipping container and get donations and used equipment, whatever, to ship down there. We don't do that anymore. It was too expensive and too unwieldy. But the angel bags that we ship them in boxes now. We hire a company to do that. So that's a big one.
Okay.
Any kind of donations like that are boxable. We can't take lawn chairs, for instance.
Sure.
It has to fit into an 18 by 18 by 22 box.
Okay.
Shipping box. I would love to be able to send health equipment like wheelchairs and those kinds of things, but we can't fit them in those boxes.
Sure. Okay.
It's a desperate need for that kind of
For
stuff.
medical equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Although if I really begged the shipping company, I could talk them into something helping us, but those kinds of things. Any kind of health related supplies, bandages and we have a lot of people that are connected to the health system here, so that we'd love to be able to ship those kinds of things.
Yeah, that's really helpful to hear. And so if God's stirring in your heart as you watch this video and interview, and you have a connection to medical supplies that would be valuable, please connect directly with Linell. And looking forward to our partnership with ACES and the Angel Bag Project coming up this fall into the Christmas season. And so. Again, this is a wonderful opportunity just to hear how we can come alongside each of the mission organizations that Faith Wesleyan supports. And so thank you so much, Linell.
That's very helpful.
Yeah, I really appreciate your time and what God's put on your heart, and to hear these kingdom of heaven happening on earth, as the Father desires it. So really appreciate your faithfulness to God and the example of His love through you. And so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.